topic tonight is about how to use virtual worlds for positive change, and I'm going to be presenting a framework of positive psychology that will help you to think about how you design your learning experiences. I'm delighted to be talking here at the MOOC here tonight, and thank you all very much for coming along. So my journey started in 2006 in the virtual world. This is before we had voice and when everything was very laggy and we had horrible looking avatars, but even then I could see the potential for I just thought it was wow that there was this little world and people could connect with each other. And so I've been here since 2006 developing models, tools and techniques for change, and I'm most well known for applying the discipline of neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis and coaching to the virtual world. I used to do relaxation sessions with people, so I have the healing pool, and I then went on to do angel workshops, and then I started putting on neuro-linguistic programming workshops. So in this talk I'll be discussing personal change using virtual worlds, and hopefully you will begin to see how you can design your own experiences for your students. So first of all, in order to understand what we're working with here, I'd like to start with a definition of what a virtual learning environment actually is and how they can make change happen usefully. So the definition of a virtual learning environment is that it's a synthetic environment. I'm just turning around. So a virtual world is a synthetic environment that leads to altered perceptions of reality as if they are not synthetic. So what this means is that when we think about things that are unreal, such as a movie or a story or other fictional media system, we basically translate the meaning to what it means to us. So we interpret it and we move out of what's sort of commonly known as reality. So if you're watching a movie, for example, you begin to really get into the movie and you suspend belief and start to be triggered by some of the actions in the movie. So, and it's the same with virtual worlds. So a virtual environment is synthetic, but we respond to it via our perceptions as if it's actually real. And we can use this to our advantage to help people change. It's not just about shooting people and horror movies and thrillers and that sort of thing. We can actually help it in our teaching to change attitudes and beliefs, to help people get new knowledge, perspectives and understandings. So the interpretation of the message gets changed to what we perceive it to mean, and our objective as teachers is to ensure that we've created a situation in which the individual can actually make decisions that fit with their outcomes about what they want to achieve. So it's very empowering, and I work with people with disabilities and autism in my day job using OpenSim, and we support people that haven't been in work for a long time and they've been bullied, they've got perhaps dyslexia, and they don't have the confidence, and a lot of them have self-esteem issues. So the virtual world gives them kind of a safe environment in which to explore things like interview practice and working in a team with others, which can be quite daunting if you've had a rough time of things. So in essence, we need to understand the factors that produce change and that go some way towards making them happen using the virtual environment. So we've got the definition of a learning environment. So next we have to think about what is learning actually, so we can put the two together. Well, my definition of learning is a neurological change that affects the material structure of the brain. As a neurolinguistic programmer, we use the altered states and language to actually create change on a neurological level, and it has been shown that language actually does change the brain, especially in hypnosis. I don't know if any of you know about hypnosis, but when a person is in trance, the person responds to the hypnotist's suggestions. So if you want to raise their arms up, you can suggest in trance that your arm is going to raise, and when it touches your nose you're going to feel really good. And these happen outside of the consciousness of the individual who's in trance, but the neurological changes are actually happening. So I saw the link between the virtual world and started to use that. So we have to acknowledge that a neuropsychological perspective of learning, which is a very important aspect to consider. I know that generally when we're learning, we can read a book, we can watch a movie, but really, has that person changed after the intervention, after the session with you? Have you really got some changes? Sometimes it's just nice knowledge, but to really get deep into it, you have to think about the neurological aspect and how you can create that change.